live from the streets. I've got Max with me. It is a Sunday morning, y'all. It's been a bit since I've been out here to enjoy this amazing, amazing air. Like I said in the past, this place kind of, no matter what the weather is, and it is a little cloudy right now, but always sunshine inside. I remember making the comment one day that it was cloudy, and somebody says it's so beautiful. Look at the clouds. Look at how they're moving. So glass half full versus glass half empty. So it's been a while since I've done a live. I have somebody coming. Let me hold on to Max. I have a pet peeve with people walking their dogs and just assume the dog likes you. I have dogs and I know not everybody likes dogs, okay? And not everybody's comfortable with your dog. So anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. That there is a there is it's tranquility, a sense of tranquility about this place that I cannot explain. Just every time I'm up here, I kind of feel the same something, and it's just soothing. It's absolutely amazing. Good morning. Good morning. And I'm trying to make sure that no one else is in the picture, especially that didn't ask to be. So, and I've been working on my podcast, as I've been telling you guys. And one of the things that has come up is what drives me. And I often try to think, what is the driving force behind me, little old me, right? And I recently heard something about toxic fuel, and I said, wow, okay, I never thought of it that way. But then again, I really think there is something to be said about that. I grew up in a place where there was not much in between the haves and the have-nots. And there is something to be said about um, learning from your lived experience. I am from a country that is small, a country that is beautiful, that has very, very rich history, and a country that is resilient. And I'm also from two people that are some of the hardest working people I know, and that do not give up. No matter what is going on in their lives, they just keep plugging. And again, being a product of lived experience, and I am a student of history, I have learned that that can also be toxic fuel in the sense that coming from not being raised with a silver spoon can drive you to do big things. It can also, at some point, if you let it continue to drive you, it can drive you to poor health because you just don't know how to stop. So I've had to learn from the hustle does not have to continue to a detrimental extent. It's not to prove anything to anyone, but to make good use of my time. I think, as I've said before, the most expensive commodity is time. And you cannot regain it. You cannot gain it back. So today I am going to do a talk on Black History Month and what that means to me. And I gain inspiration very often through these walks. Very windy, so I'm sorry that you're hearing all this going about. But in terms of history, like I said, I'm a student of history. I forever keep in mind that those who came before me sacrificed so much for me to be here. I think about way back during the transatlantic slave migration, what that meant. And I went to a place, it is off the coast of Nigeria in Lagos called Badagry. I went there in about 2006, and I remember my in laws taking me to this museum in Badagry. Badagry, there's an aspect of it where there's what they call point of no return, which is where the slaves were taken to in order to get to those big ships to cross over to other lands. And they got to a certain point that they called point of no return because once they got there, there was no turning back. There was no ever seeing family, your own land. I think about what that meant to them. And while I was there, and I remember standing at the museum looking at the shackles, looking at adult shackles, looking at children's shackles, looking at shackles that looked like they were for 3-year-olds. And I was just something came over me. I still till this day cannot put my finger on it, but I felt this gravitational pull from the earth. I'm somebody who's connected to the the world around me. I am very spiritually connected to God, but also my environment. And I felt, y'all, I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird. C- Coming out of my mouth right now sounds weird, but I know what I felt. And I've never felt that ever again in my life, in my late 40s as I am. I felt this connection as if the earth was pulling me towards it. And for I don't know how long, but I was not able to speak to anybody around me. Like I could tell that they were talking to me, but I could not hear them, as if I was so engrossed in that experience. Good morning. That I just I don't know. I could not move. How weird. I don't know how that if that sounds weird to you, but I had oh, I see somebody coming on. Good morning. So I had issues with moving forward in that moment. And I just could feel like the ancestors, let me just say it like this, y'all. It's going to sound weird that the ancestors were talking to me. Like they're at an unrest. That sound, I know it sounds weird to a lot. I'm not into any kind of bad spirits or anything like that, y'all. Y'all know me. I'm a Christian through and through. But I felt this connection to Mother Earth in that moment that I've never felt before, not in any place. And I guess in Haiti, I was too young to even feel that. So thank y'all. So I I've kept that with me going forward in my adulthood. That this is something, along with my lived experience of being in Haiti younger and moving here to the US, this great nation, and I tell you, this is a great nation. I don't care what anybody says. There are many things that I've been able to achieve here that I know might have been different in my own country. So I have to thank the US for that, despite the, I'd say, contentious relationships with other nations, including mine. But also, there's an aspect of it that's been absolutely wonderful. So, I say this to say our history from the motherland also connects to Black history. You cannot have the civil rights movement without the transatlantic slave migration. The two are connected. So, I can sit here and recite all the wonderful inventors, all the wonderful civil rights leaders. I know we all can Google those, but I'm coming to you from a personal experience where I have lived in this skin for life. I cannot take it off. And I am very conscious of it in everything that I do and everything that I say. And I know I am being judged in this skin every single day. And I do my best to represent my people starting from the continent of Africa to the island of Haiti and to this great United States. So I know I represent many people. I represent so many. I represent my parents. I represent people that when you walk into the clinic and you say, oh, this Dr. Milady's dressed up. But listen, I represent you. I represent you to the world. So I live every day knowing that there are so many people riding on my shoulders. There's the ancestors are standing on my shoulders every single day, and and it's always pressed upon me to make them proud. And I urge you and our young people to also think about that. I know when I was younger, history probably did not mean much to me. It was more cumbersome than anything, especially when somebody taught it in a very mundane sort of way. When they taught it in a way that was not personalized. I think that's what it is. My love of history was sparked in college. I had an amazing professor. Man, the man was militant, but for a reason, he felt so compelled to teach this amazing history and just impress upon us how important it was, and not to allow it to be whitewashed, not to allow it to be rewritten, not to allow it not to be told. I think, if anything, I am probably the family orator. I love to hear stories from the elders. My dad just turned 90 something, and I just sit there and talk to him and ask him about how it was like growing up, the things that he was not able to do, the things he was able to do, um, how, how much things cost. What was life like for him? What were things that he wished that he did differently, or what he wished that he had done better, or what he's very proud of? I have made a point of surrounding myself with older people. Y'all, some of my besties could be my mom or grandma or granddad. I was speaking to two of my mentors yesterday and telling them that I'm working on a project. Would they mind if I mentioned their names? And they were so honored, and I was just so proud to have been mentee, proud to have had them in my life, along, of course, with my parents. My parents have been mentors, my initial mentors, right? But I've had the village around me. I think if there's something that I see that is being lost today, it's having a mentor. Having mentors. I've had so many, and they were all older, to be quite honest with you. I did not have people who were my age. Well, I had friends that were my age, but very few. Most of them were older. I learned from their lived experience, and I think that has served me well. It has served me very well in my years. And I urge you, young people, younger than me, in your 20s and 30s, surround yourself with those who are wiser. They can teach you so much more about life, about where you are, about where you're going, and how to make the best of the time that we have, and we don't know how long we're going to be here for. So, as the clouds are closing in here, and thinking about my talk today at church on Black History, I am somebody who is standing here as a product of that amazing history, as difficult as the journey has been for me to be here in 2026, talking to you, being able to stand here, you know, despite my accolades and all of the things I can talk about that I have achieved, and I'm very proud of them, but to be a strong Black woman standing here When people say strong black woman, there's a negative connotation. No, there shouldn't be. I think it speaks to my lived experience. It speaks to my joy. It speaks to my pain. It speaks to my fears. It speaks to so many things. It speaks to my rich heritage. It speaks to where I see the world, how I see the world, and how I live in the world. So I think the strong is not necessarily the physical strength. It is, for me, the strength of my mind, the strength of my heart, and the strength of my soul. And there's something to be said about that. So I pray that you guys have an amazing, amazing Sunday. Enjoy this beautiful day that the Lord has provided for us. Let's make every day the best that we can make it, because I don't know whether I'm going to be here tomorrow to experience it. So every day I try to look at look at it in a positive light and enjoy the best of it, whether it is rainy, sunny, windy, cold. Out here with Max. He's just enjoying, just came out here, just couldn't wait for me to come out with him. So I try to enjoy every day like Max. Y'all have an amazing Sunday. God bless y'all. All right, take care. I gotta learn how to stop this thing now because I don't usually do live. All right, that's it, y'all. If I cannot stop this thing because it doesn't have, okay, doesn't have a close, so I have to see. There we go. Are you sure you want to stop streaming?